Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the Legends of Sport podcast. I'm your host, as always, Andy Bernstein. As you all know, we took the podcast on the road to the 2024 Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame Enshrinement Weekend. Lots of incredible contributors to the game of basketball were celebrated that weekend, including the newest members of the James F. Goldstein Superfan Gallery. So in this week's episode, we have the great Billy Crystal as one of this year's Superfan honorees. We all know Billy from his long and amazing career as an actor and comedian, Oscars host, and voice of some iconic animated characters. But those of us around the NBA also know Billy as a passionate fan of the LA Clippers for decades. I've seen Billy and his wife Janice and their family courtside for years, going back to the old LA Sports Arena days. He has always been approachable and friendly, so it was a great honor for me to be a member of the committee that nominated Billy for his inclusion in the Superfan Gallery this year. Billy and I were able to sit down together for a fun conversation that was really, really special for me. I hope you all enjoyed as much as I did, and as always, I'll see you on the backside. Well, Billy, we've known each other a long time.
Yes, we do.
And I've seen you on the court for a gazillion years cheering on your Clippers. Now you're being honored as a super fan by the Basketball Hall of Fame. I mean, what does that mean to you at this point?
It means I spent a lot of money on a team that never won anything.
Good point.
No, it's about supporting a team and the players and representing the other really great fans throughout the not only Clipper Nation but all the nations.
Yeah.
Who save up and come to the games and bring their families and teach them about the beauty of the game. Like I started out with my father, my brothers, all those so many years ago.
Yeah.
So it's very nice. I started as a Laker fan. When I came to L.A.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about before that.
Yeah,
were you a Knicks fan growing up?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you had to be.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I'm a Brooklyn guy. So,
yeah. And even before that, which I'll talk about today, is going to my first high school game when I was 9. And we had a local star who's in the Hall of Fame now named Larry Brown.
Yeah, I think I know
Larry
him.
was a diminutive guard. And my older brother, I'm the youngest of 3, was moved up to the varsity to play at 6'2", center. Larry was only 5'9", 5'10".
Yeah.
And we were playing our arch rival, a team named Oceanside High School. Their star was 6'4", named Artie Heyman.
Okay.
So Larry scored over 40, and so did Heyman, and they were 8-minute quarters.
Oh my goodness.
And
then
like
a basket every 5 seconds.
They were just going at each other, and they did that in college. Heyman
Yeah.
went to Duke, Larry North Carolina.
Yeah.
Larry then went on to win a gold medal in the Olympics in '64.
Wow.
And I was on the basketball team as a junior then, and not a big guy, and I wasn't playing much. And Larry came that weekend to do a thing called Larry right on the screen right now as we're watching. Oh, Nicholson the Pigeons. That's so weird.
Fortuitous.
Yeah. Larry Brown weekend.
Yeah.
And at Long Beach High School. So Larry came and worked out with the team. And our coach was a really good college player, too. So he and Larry were going at it. And I was playing in the backcourt with Larry. And after practice, Larry said, stick around. Stick around.
Yeah.
So I did. It was just he and I. And he said, listen, we're little guys. So you got to get your shot off quick.
Yeah.
So let's work on your shot, and always know where you are in the court. Always know where you are in relation to the basket. Well, keep your feet set. That's the most important thing for us to get our shots off, and your hands in the right position. And so we must have shot 40, 50 shots.
Yeah.
And I never forgot it, and we became friends from then on.
Oh, that's great.
Until this day. So he's on my mind today also.
And he was a coach of the Clippers for a while, Larry Brown.
And he took us to the playoffs twice.
That's right. That's right.
Came mid-season.
Yep.
And we almost beat Utah.
I remember that.
And I flew to Salt Lake City, and I was with him before the game, and he goes, Daryl Garrettson's the ref. He's gonna do something. I don't trust him.
Yeah.
And he fouled out Danny Manning on a loose ball.
Yeah.
A loose ball.
It's amazing. That's
called
like,
a foul. This
like
is okay,
an act
folks.
of
We're sitting
God.
in the lobby of
Like
the
an act
MGM
of God.
Hotel, and there's a big TV over the bar, and it's showing the Pistons in the championship game against the Lakers, and there's Larry.
That's
And
awesome.
so, and then again next year against Houston in the last second basket in Houston, we lost. But throughout the years, Janice and I just kept coming, and because you keep believing, and then we had some really good teams like 06, and then it was a drought, and then it becomes we draft Blake Griffin, and he hurts his knee and doesn't play the first year. And so that's frustrating. It was always frustrating.
There's always something that happened.
Always
Chris
something.
Paul breaks his hand in the most ridiculous reach-in thing
Reach-in
ever.
thing, and then Blake broke a finger,
Yeah.
and then it's a hamstring, and then it's this, and then it's the craziness,
And then we got Don Sterling, the whole thing there.
that
but that's
horrible
a whole
stuff.
other
But we kept
situation.
coming.
Yeah.
And then it's the bubble, and then we're up 3-1, and we
I know,
lose, and
I
we're
know.
up 3-1 the year before, and we lost that.
Yeah.
But you keep coming,
Yeah.
and so here we are.
Yeah, so you're going to be going down to Intuit for some games, you think?
I hope
this
so. I
season?
haven't been to many games at all the
Yeah,
last couple of
I
seasons
know,
because
I
I've been
haven't
back
seen you.
east working.
Yeah.
So I've only been to a handful of games.
Well, they need your energy down there. They honored you, the Clippers, at the end of last season.
That was very
That was
nice,
a beautiful
yeah.
thing. Great video, and it's always great for me to see you courtside. I mean, we go back to the sports arena days where there'd be like 9 people.
I know.
And us.
No, the triple double meant that there were 3 couples. And you've taken some great pictures of me and my family, and over the time, starts with Janice and I and our 2 little girls.
Yeah.
And when they would dance with the Kula Kid
I remember,
at the sports
yeah.
arena, and then my
So much
grandchildren, and so here we are.
That's great. I just want to talk about one quick thing because you told a great story on Jimmy Kimmel about Jack inviting you. Was that the only Laker home game that you have ever attended? Was that one that you sat next to
No,
Jack?
I used to go to. I had tickets for the Lakers
Oh,
when I
no
first
way.
moved there.
I didn't realize
I
that.
had the best seats.
Yeah.
I remember we were in row R. So it's about how many
In the
letters
Forum,
of the
obviously.
alphabet up at the Forum.
Yeah.
My seats were right in front of the broadcast booth where Chick was.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So,
you could hear him.
He was right behind me. So it was like Chick was sitting next to
Yeah.
me doing the game for us.
I can picture those seats because I remember they had that schlocky, yellow plastic thing on the front.
Yeah,
and
so I was a big Laker fan.
That's so funny.
Never shed my Nick love.
Yeah.
And and then someone said to me, "Have you ever been to a Clipper game?" And I said, "Why?" And he said, "'Cause you can sit courtside for like $20." So I went with him, and then
I
it was
love it.
we kind of. It was nice. It
Yeah.
wasn't fancy.
No.
It was funky. The building was falling apart.
A dub.
Right, the sports arena.
Yeah.
There were cracks in the hallway
That was-
from earthquakes.
yeah.
They filled with foam.
God forbid you had to go to the bathroom.
Oh, I didn't. I had the official Clipper catheter that I wore. But we got to know all the players. We got to, they would and appreciate the game.
Sure. Yeah. I had a conversation with Steve Ballmer. I said, please don't ignore the Clipper fan base that has stayed loyal to this team from the beginning. And, they like to think about themselves rebranded since he bought the team and everything. But I remember the LA Kings and covering them, and there was a handful of people who were there when they won the championship in 2012, when they won the Stanley Cup Finals. And I saw those people. Do you think in your lifetime you're going to see a banner go up for a Clippers championship?
I sure hope so.
Yeah.
I mean, the fans deserve it.
They do, yeah.
Anyone who's passionate about any of their teams in the league, that's what you hope for.
Got to.
And who knows where our destiny is going to lead us this year in their new home.
Yeah.
But I remember when the Yankees moved into the new Yankee Stadium, they won the World Championship that year.
Ooh, that's a good omen.
Yeah, so let's see. But,
all right, well, on that note, thank you so much for coming by, Billy. Congratulations.
Thank you, man.
On being a super fan. Well deserved. You're going to be preserved forever in the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame.
I just want to be preserved. That's all. So far, so good.
Thank you. Well, huge thanks to Billy for a great conversation on this week's episode. Big congrats to him and all the other inductees into the James F. Goldstein Superfan Gallery at the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame. Folks, go check that out next time you're in Springfield. Thanks for tuning in to this episode and continuing to support the Legends of Sport podcast. Please tell all your friends to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Legends of Sport. Our Instagram is at Legends of Sport. And, of course, my photography can be found on Instagram at ADB Photo Inc. Big thanks, as always, to our producer, Carlin Barker, and our editors, Sean Gosser and Addison Xiao, and everyone who helped us during Enshrinement weekend. Thanks again to all our loyal followers, and we'll see you again next week for a fun episode on the Legends of Sport podcast.